Now that you have looked at what makes a good credible source, watch this video and see why it is so important for you as 7th graders to learn how to figure out a good credible source. Then watch this video. What I want you guys to do is just in your notes or on the side of your paper, you are going to write down essentially what their claim is. So what are they saying is true, and then all of the reasons why. Like all of the reasons why they did this. You can pause this video to watch this video, or watch the video that's posted here, and then go on to the next slide. Hopefully, on the last slide, you guys were able to see that, yes, a lot of the reasons that they stated were true, but we have to question the reasoning a little bit, and also we need to question where we are getting the information. So if you went through that checklist, you're like, okay, is this a good credible source? Well, no, it's not, because they're not an expert on the source. The information is up to date, but the purpose of the source is to persuade or entertain. It's not to inform, so that's not a good thing. There's facts, but there's also a lot of opinions in it, or the way that the facts are stated are to be more of supporting their opinion. Number 5, the very last one, is basically to have like the domain be a .edu, a .gov, a .org, because they're fact-checked. Anybody can put something on TikTok, and so that's what we see there. On this slide, you're going to do much of the same. You're going to watch both videos, and you are going to go through the checklist, and you're going to actually like answer on the Pear Deck saying which one is the most credible source. The topic that I'm going to give you to research is Mars, and we're going to be reading a story where Martians or aliens from Mars come to try to take over the Earth. So hopefully this will also give you some information for that. But I want you to pick the source that you would use if I gave you like a research project on the planet Mars. So watch these videos. You can click on them. You can pull them up. You can see who put out the information, when they were published, all of the things. Do your own investigation and then write a decent response. So I'm saying 2 to 3 sentences at least. You should be able to explain which one is the credible source and why you would use it based off of that checklist. The next slide does much of the same. Now it's having you look at that same source, the source number 1, and another source, and having you compare those two to see which one you would use, which one is more credible out of these 2 sources. And you're going to do the same thing. And then the next couple of slides, what you're going to do is basically read the sources themselves, and you're going to go over and look for this information. These are online sources, they're websites or articles that were posted online. So there's this one that you can access and just click on. And then there's also the next one where you can do the same thing, where you're trying to figure out which one is a good credible source, or which one you would use if I gave you the topic of secret societies or like anything like that. Then from there, you guys are going to actually read the previous article. It's also linked there, and you're going to thieves it. And what I mean by that is you are going to basically steal information from the text without technically reading it. So you're going to look at the title, you're going to look at all the headings, you're going to look at the introduction section, every first sentence, or you're just going to skim through and look at every first sentence of the sections. You're going to look at any visuals that they give you, not including ads, any vocabulary that maybe stands out to you, if any at all. Ending questions would be something as if I gave you like an ending question. Like I could ask you, what are the 5 secret societies that have remained shrouded in mystery? And then when you got to this part of it, you would be then looking for specific evidence that would help you answer that question without actually reading. And then summary. So after that, then you look at the very end of the whole website, whole article, and you read the like ending conclusion. Okay. All of this is gearing us up to read Ray Bradbury and his short stories. So we're going to look a little bit about his life and his work. Every week, along with researching specific topics, you will also be reading short stories. He will be the main author that we focus on because of the genre that he writes. This also should be a topic in your Cornell notes if you haven't already added that. Science fiction is your next topic. The definition is fiction based on imagined future scientific or technological advances and major social or environmental changes. This frequently portrays space or time travel and life on other planets. And then you should also list the elements of fiction. So just reiterating, time travel, teleportation, mind control, telepathy, telekinesis, aliens, extraterrestrial life forms and mutants, space travel and exploration, interplanetary warfare, parallel universes, fictional world, alternative histories, speculative technology, super intelligent computers, and robots. So all of those could be things that you find in sci-fi, but not limited to. So Ray Bradbury, he was born August 22nd, 1920 in Illinois, and he died at the age of 91 in 2012, and he died in California. That's where he lived. He was married to Marguerite McClure, and the dates are there. He was influenced by George Orwell and Edgar Allan Poe, which we've already read him, so if you know anything about Poe. Bradbury was definitely influenced by his work, so we'll see if we can see that come through. He went to Los Angeles High School, but he actually never went to college. He wrote his first short story at the age of 11, and he was first published at the age of 18. So he started writing short stories before, or like while he was your age. Watch this video on Ray Bradbury's interview just to get a feel for who he is as a person, how he talks, how he thinks, all of that. There's some good information in that. Bradbury's genre is pretty simple, straightforward. I should also say, I already told you to do sci-fi as a topic. Bradbury should be a topic in your notes. So you can list these out and write what you need to, but his genres are fantasy, science fiction, mystery, and horror. All of those, and you will see that in his work for sure, especially because we're going to read multiple short stories that he's written. Some popular themes that we might see throughout his works. Some warnings to society. This is a big one. He generally leaves the stories kind of with a reflection of, well, what if this would happen? So it's a warning to society to be prepared. Dystopian worlds, so like other worlds, future worlds, or like that are much more advanced on their own. Advanced technology could be something that would be in his stories. Teaching the reader a lesson or getting the reader to think about or think and move to action is a big one. Again, those warnings to society. And then lessons that span generations are some popular themes. Warnings from Bradbury, there's two big ones that you can always seem to find in his works. The first one would be, what if this happened? So Bradbury looks into society, the norms, all of those things, and then throws like a wrench in it and basically says, like, what would this happen? For example, the story that we're going to read next week, obviously aliens are going to be taking over the earth, and they do it in such a way that it makes the reader think, what if this actually happened? What if this could come true? How would we protect ourselves against this? And then the other one would be, what if this continues? And so those are two major warnings that Bradbury has for us. Make sure that you have your notes completed. You should have conspiracy theories, mass hysteria. You should have credible sources, all his main topics, sci-fi or the genre, science fiction, and then all the information on Bradbury should be in your notes and ready to go for next class time.